Hello, Jason, and hello, all of my beautiful girls. It's so nice to have you here, and I really do appreciate, and I'm so thankful that you have time and energy, and that you stay so up at really small hours in your country. And all of my students have some of the questions, so I would like to start first because we have one grandmother here, and she's a very interested, in the chart of her of her daughter's chart, and I will share with all of you so we can follow what Jason is telling us.
Okay.
Just a second. Yeah. Her name is Ada, and she's also a manifestor as you are. So the main question of her parents and her grandma is how to explain or how to behave with a child that is manifestor, and she's pretty much aware what she wants, when she wants, and she really does not listen anybody, and pretty much sure about herself. Can you share with us your experiences when you were a child?
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. So I will just share my experience of being a manifestor before I get into the charts. Okay, yeah, because I have some few insights that I was contemplating today. As manifestors. So, firstly, manifestors, right? Yeah, not only manifestors. We are all built, we're all designed perfect as we are, right? So that's the bottom line. We are perfect, and there's nothing to be changed about us. So don't use human design as something to fix you or a instruction manual, like oh, I have to follow this and that. That is another mind's trick, right? Yes, the human design is a way for you. It's more like a tool or like a bridge, so that you can see through your illusory mind that is trying to get into the your design. So what you have to do is really to see that, to use your awareness, and then to drop your mind, and then to see that your innate energy, your innate design is already perfect, and then it can shine through as it is. So yeah, so don't use human design to pull your mind into sleep. Like, oh, okay, I'm a manifestor, so I need to, impact, or I'm a generator, so I need to respond. Yeah, so the only goal is to get rid of the mind. Yeah, that is the way to use human design, right? Okay, so as manifestors, as you guys know, we're not here to work or to sustain our energy, to work, to go and go and go, right? We are here to lead and to impact. So for manifestors, I don't know about you guys, like, when you first find out that you're a manifestor, how do you feel? For me, it's like, especially in a Asian culture, I feel I couldn't even believe it, right? So when I know I was a manifestor, I was like, oh, really? But, at the bottom of my heart, I know that I am a manifestor. So manifestors, sometimes they are being pushed down or being suppressed. They are even afraid of their own power because they know they can be here and impact. So as a child, I was conditioned to not be a manifestor. I was, especially in Asia, right? We have this culture of you just listen and you follow the leaders, and then, you just be a good boy or a good girl. So as a manifestor, as a child, I was really, I feel powerless. I was conditioned to be a generator because whenever I make impact, my parents would be like, hey, sit your ass down, right? So yeah, so they'll be conditioned me to respond, which is one of the worst feelings that manifestors can feel, right? Because manifestors, they do not like to be controlled or to be suppressed or to be tied down. Yeah, so it's almost like you put a lion into a cage and then, see what happens. So as a child, as parents, so we really need to pay attention, like how not to dominate your child, and to really train them how to inform, right? And to tell them who they are, right? Yeah, because manifestor, we think that, hey, manifestor, right? Manifest, we can do whatever that we want to. That is entirely not true, okay? Because manifestors, people may think that, oh, that's 8% of the population. We can do whatever whenever we want to. That is just another illusion, right? Manifestors, we still have to go by our own design, our own authority and strategy. And so when the life and the situation is in place, and then we can take that and then initiate or impact, rather than thinking, oh, I'm a manifestor, so I would do whatever when I said it, right? So yeah, so that's basically how I felt as a child. So to treat a child, it's important to teach them that you need to inform. Informing not only in terms of, oh, hey, mom, I'm going to have ice cream. Not that. You also need to inform others that you are designed this way, right? Meaning that you need to unapologetically say that you need to go first. You need to initiate. You cannot go second or go last. That's one of the worst feelings that manifestors can feel. That's the anger. So you need to inform that you need to go first, and you need to politely ask others to inform you too. Because as manifestors, we would love to be informed also, right? Yeah, because we don't like to be tossed around or bossed around. So yeah, so that's how I feel as a manifestor. We need to train our child about those things, and then to make them really practice a healthy way of channeling their, especially as like ego manifestors. They need to have their pride, have their ego, and have their control, while at the same time not be blinded by it, right? Not to abuse that power. Yeah, so that's basically how I feel we should treat our manifested child.
Would you like that I share the chart from the girl?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. And is there anything that you would like to recommend those parents for such a such child, that she is pretty much aware of who she is, and she is very strictly in that way that I want this, I want that. Also, you can relate with this energy.
I can totally relate. Yeah, because I have the 21-3 and 48-3 as my node environment, so I know how that line of how the channel of the money feels, and I do also know 45 line 4, that's her conscious side. So she's only conscious of her powerful expression. Yeah, so that's her way of communicating. That's her way of sharing her thinking and to be heard. So by looking at this chart, the first thing I look is that she only has 2 defined centers. So although she's a manifestor, she's pretty much a very open design. She has open roots, open spleen, and open sacral. Yeah, so she only has 2 defined charts, and as we can see that her sun and earth of the personality is at 39 and 38. So although she's a very her defined channel is at a tribal, she's also a very individual type of person. So she's here to use her own willpower, to get the support, to get the support from the tribe, and in order to feel that she's here for a meaning. So yeah, so she can be stubborn at times. She can be stubborn. She can be provocative at times if she's not following her own design. Yeah, meaning that she always she always needs to check in her own heart, what is there in it for me, right? Because she's a ego authority, so she needs to consider that what is there in it for me, not in a selfish way, like I need to get it or get that. What is in it for me, so I can ultimately support myself and also support the tribe. And her design side said, she has a line of 21-3. I have that line, okay? It's called powerlessness. Meaning that line 3 is that you are here to make mistakes about control, about willpower. And, powerlessness means that, it's a learning curve for a lifetime. So that you know that, the inside of futile confrontation from outer and superior forces. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that you should not have a boss, right? You know, that's what it says in the book, right? Yeah. People with this line, 21-3, should not have a boss because, yeah, so I have that line, so I know how it feels, right? So it's like you feel powerlessness when you have superior interference in your life. For example, if today somebody is not paying you for your work, right? And then you can say, hey, you know what, forget about it, I quit. And then, you know, you can use your willpower to say, hey, you know what, I control my life destiny. I will quit and look for a new job, right? Or like, for example, today, if the world is, for example, it's your wedding day, right? And then it's raining outside. And then you'll be like, no, I choose not rain, right? That would be feeling real powerless because that's her design. And trust me, people with this line, she will feel that sometimes the world is against them. That's how I feel, yeah, because you sometimes it's truly humble us because you cannot do anything about it. You don't have control in life. Yeah, so people with this line will learn that sometimes people, yeah, so you know, we do not have control. So yeah, so you know, she's here to you know, have a innovative power of control so that she can get her tribe and herself supported, so she can be empowered by her individuality and also learn about taste, learn about depth, so that she can see a lot of judgment and authority in her environment so that she can prepare for a better future, you know, to support her tribe. So she's a very logical person. As you can see that she has a lot of individual channels, but she's also a very logic person. So she, yeah, so she needs to practice logic. Yeah, and also, you know, she has the formal energy, so she can sometimes be very obsessed about the details, about the taste, about the depth, so that she can have a better and secure future for herself and, you know, for her tribe. And yeah, so, you know, so for this chart, after we see those channels and then we see the open centers, right? Yeah, so we have the 1, 2, 3 punch, you know, which is the sacral and the heart and also the G center. So she will be really easily conditioned by those open centers, and especially she has the 37. Yeah, so that's the gate of family, and I have the gate too. And you know, for the previous, I have the gate too. Yeah, so for the previous 30 years, that has really troubled me, right? Yeah, so it means that even though she's a very dominant type of person, I get it, what I wanted, but she is also a pretty scared to confront. She cares about loyalty. She cares about harmony. She cares about family. That's why she's a very tribal person too. So yeah, so you know, with this gate, she needs to practice. Yeah, so parents should teach her to practice not to people pleasing, or you know, not to try to keep the harmony. So you know, she can be extra nice, you know, extra pleasing to others. Yeah, so you know, she needs to follow in her own authority and to see that when it's time to be nice, you know, to keep the harmony, you know, to keep everybody emotionally connected, when to let go. Okay. Yeah, otherwise, you know, she can be fearful to confront emotionally. Yeah, and also, you know, she has a lot of gate in the root, and yeah, and you know, her sun and her earth is also at the undefined root. So you know, when she's not being herself, she can be really stubborn. She can really challenge others, or she can feel that when others try to judge her or to challenge her, she feels a sense of threat. So she's trying to push back. Yeah. So you know, yeah. So judging by this graph, I can see that, you know, she's probably a Enneagram 8. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I've heard that. You know, Enneagram 8 is type of people that go by their instinct. Yeah, so you know, they will fight back if anything is in her way.
Of course.
Yeah, so you know, so from this chart, I will see that if this child is not being herself, she will feel that a kind of melancholic, or a sense of depression that she's not in the right place in the right time. So, especially she has the gate of 14, as her Saturn. So she will feel a sense of pain in that she's not creating abundance in the right direction in her life. And also she might be busy at the wrong things, because of the 34. So when she found that she's busy doing things, trying to control, trying to dominate, while she does not feel her own empowerment, that means she's in the wrong place, and she might feel a lot of anger. So my tip is that try to really teach how to use her willpower, because that's her only motor, right? Willpower is not designed to function consistently. So it's like she has to work and impact and then relax and then just rest. So she cannot be like going all the time.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you, Jason, for this.
No
can we talk a little bit about you now?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Okay. I would like to open your chart. This is your chart. Just a second. I need to clean all of my drawings. This is your chart. I send to all of my students your chart, and they are pretty much aware of who you are and with who they are talking today. So it was very interesting from your chart, some of the channels that you have. Maybe if Ivančice, if you want, Silva, if you want, ask something, Jason, or I can start with the questions that I have prepared from the other girl that just called, that she will not be able here.
Well,
Sure.
I'm always having questions. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you too. Yes. Thank you for this opportunity. You said that you, as a child, you weren't living your human design because of the culture and everything. What happened? What was your way to change this? And when you first met yourself with human design, so how this helped you in your life?
Okay, so as a child, as you can see my charts, right? I'm a splenic manifestor. So it means that, splenic authority means that I will only know what I know. I will not, know before I know it. So it means that parents can really perceive me as really dangerous, because whenever I manifest, it's always spontaneous. So they cannot control me. So what happened to me was that after a few sessions, or after a few times of me being spontaneous myself, and my parents, they are really scared. Because as a child, I think I'm only at 1 year old, I actually got lost at a train station. Because I still remember that story. Because my splenic feel that I needed to find my mom, so I walked alone by myself. I crossed 3 huge roads, and then I went to the train station to look for my mother. And then I thought I was going to go back, but then one of the police he caught me and then sent me home. So basically, as a child, I was very, very spontaneous and instinctual, so that my parents, they really punished me. And, they tell me that you cannot do this and, you cannot do that. So that, I start to be conditioned by them, because, and especially I have the open emotional center. So when they were angry at me, they were mad at me, I really absorb everything. And, with the gate of 55, I feel everything so intensely. So that, I start to hide myself, I start to resist myself. So, only after like 20 years and, 25 years, I really start to have enough of it. And then, I was like, you know what? I really have to live by myself. I was actually so depressed. I was having like suicidal thoughts, like, how to be myself, why I'm here. I don't even belong here. What's the purpose of my life? And then, yeah, so, after some intense, like seeking, intense, like meditation and intense spiritual practice, I discovered human design from my guru. From my spiritual teacher. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is so resonating. So after learning human design, I still found out that, it's not really easy to just see your design and be like, oh, okay, now I can live as my authentic self. I really have to deconditioning. And as we know that the deconditioning process can be like, 5 to 7 years. So for me, I'm slowly start to really listening to my intuition, my spontaneous signals on what's healthy and what's not healthy. And trust me, what? Even defined center can be conditioned, because my parents, they're so scared of me, right? They will give me rules about what's healthy, what's not healthy. So I have a lot of conventional and cultural intuitions about what's healthy and what's not healthy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so which is not even going along with my own design. So I really have to see through those and then make decisions truly in the place of not knowing, right? Mm-hmm. Because my parents be like, hey, what, Jason, eat some celery and that's healthy for you. Or yeah, so I will only have to tune in into my own self and then see, oh, I decide what's healthy and what's healthy. And what's not healthy, and that's going to change moment by moment. Yeah, so basically I have been practicing it, and now I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I do get a hand of my own energy, so I can live at least peacefully with it. But still sometimes I get caught off guard, but hey, what, that's life. So
no. And do you use sometimes human design charts from other people in business or privately to find? Yes.
Really? I actually, so, I read human design charts for my friends and, for my like friends and family and parents, and also my coworkers. I really found that to know their design is really a good way to see that, to get along with them. Right, because you can see that only by you knowing your own self, and then you'll be able to know, oh, okay, I'm designed this way. Then I'm unique, and they are designed that way. So I don't really have to change the way they are, and by not changing who I am. Yeah, so it's really useful to really learn the charts of others. But the more I learn it, and then the more I see that like 90% of the people, they are living their not self. They are totally all of alignment of their own design and their truth.
Do you say to them, hey, man, you should live more yourself?
No.
It's difficult. Yes, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else can ask, because I can do it all the time, but it's not okay to others. So just please, ladies.
I have a question according to your profile, because your profile is so powerful. You are 5'1", and what does it mean? When are you vacillating between projections as a 5 and introspections as a 1? When is dominating 5 and when is dominating a 1? When are you running to be introspective and very, very, very researchable oriented? And when are you in which kind of projections do you choosing that it will be in line with you?
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. And I think that I briefly answered it in our last video, right? Yeah, so 5'1" is a heretic and investigator. So that is a transpersonal profile. So I'm very 5. I'm aware that, I'm very 5 in front of people. So when there are people in front of me, so when I'm interacting with others, I'm always a 5. but also, you know, I do want to know about others. So, you know, when I'm being myself, I become a one. So, yeah, so, you know, I'm unconsciously always want to study, you know, study about myself, you know, study about my reality in order to serve as a five. So these two, you know, just oscillate between one another. And, you know, one thing that I want to say about 5-1 is that I've only have this insights like recently, right? You know, because 5-1 is a transpersonal that only accounts for like 33% of the whole population. Mm-hmm. So I feel that I really do have to accept the fact that my life is not mine. Do you know what I mean? It's that I'm here to clear karma, to fulfill some kind of purpose through others. So I cannot focus on my life. And you know, whenever I try to focus on my own life, it just never works. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm here to be a deep studier, you know, of my reality, and then universalize this kind of message, and, you know, to, well, you know, not to say in a cocky way, but, you know, to serve and to help and, you know, to save people, right? You know, try to be a savior when the crisis happens. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what I found about myself. And, you know, yeah, it could get really lonely because everybody is trying to project their own dream onto you. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they are saying, yeah, so when my mom, she had me, she was planning all my life, you know, until I am 17 years old, but, you know, that's just their dream. So yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I understand totally. And one of my students that she's not here right now asked about mm-hmm. your first center, your head center, because you have it open, and both of those gates are in your very conscious part of you, are a mm-hmm. part of your incarnation cross. And what can you tell us about how does it showing in your life, this part of doubt and this part of confusion in your life?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so that's a very big part of me, and because I have the open head.
Yeah.
So I found out that because of the open head, my 63 and 64, my shining and my light is not being seen by everybody because that is not consistent. And also I feel that it is better to be used on others rather than myself. So what I noticed is that when others approach me, you know, when I'm in aura with others, I can always be a good questioner or a good person who can help others to figure out what happens, or, you know, to make sense of what happens in the past, and then to ask the right question to make them be prepared for a future, you know, for a more secure future. That's one of my, you know, best way of functioning. But the not self here is that I turn that around and then, you know, turn that into myself. So I start to be doubtful. I don't trust anybody. Okay. Or, you know, I don't trust anything. So so one of the really big lessons for me to have open center and to have those two pressure gate is that I really have to be okay with my own pressure to think, to doubt, or you know, my own confusion, because it is always there. And, you know, once it's activated, it can get blown out of proportion. Mm-hmm. So I really have to see which doubt is healthy for me, which is just, you know, trying to play mind games with me, so I can distinguish between serving and, you know, self-torturing. So, yeah.
Okay, does anyone have a question? Maybe. I have another one, but I just want to check with you, girls. We are very much. Can I ask you one more question? Do you have enough energy just to be with us?
Of course.
A bit more. Thank you.
Of course.
I think that your ego center is very interesting for all of us. So you can choose. You had 3 channels. This channel you have been spoke about previously. This is a shamanic channel, and this is a channel of initiation, and this is a very entrepreneurial channel of smelling good business stuff. So can you choose which one do you most have challenges with?
Yeah.
Or which one do you most like? Whatever do you want.
Okay. So, wow, that's a really good question. Wow, that's a really, really good question, because I do struggle with all of those three channels. And, you know, if I have to put in orders, I would say that the 44-26, that's the most challenging one, because I have three imprints, like, you know, 3 times each gate.
Let me see.
So it's like 6 gates.
Okay, 44. Oh, Pluton in 44. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Pluto in 44. And oh my God. Yeah, you know, that's the right word.
Oh, okay.
And Saturn, you know, 26.
And Saturn. You big lectures in this life.
Yeah, and you can see that, right? My 44 is at line 1, 2, and 3. So it's all about myself, you know, about my fear of the past, you know, how not to create my own consequence, you know, how to not create my own karma. And, you know, as a Pluto, I really feel that, you know, there's a death and, you know, rebirth feel of it, because some of the past, so I really had a hard time of letting go of the past and, you know, forgive my own mistakes, or, you know, forgive others' mistakes, or, so that's my theme, you know, because of a Pluto. And, you know, when I do let go, you know, I feel reborn, you know, I feel I died and, you know, being reborn already. And my Saturn is at 26-4. Okay. So it's not even in harmony with those lines. So it's like, so the Saturn is about, I try to impress, or, you know, try to transmit to the community. So I really have to censor some informations, but, you know, my spleen knows what happened. So it's like, if I don't really go, so go with my spleen and, you know, go with my truth, I'll be smacked really hard by the Saturns, and, you know, I feel that my heart is being stabbed by a knife. Yeah, so, you know, that's one of the most challenging for me. Yeah, so, you know, because people will always say that your defined channel is your strength, right? You are here to utilize that, you know, to have your own strengths. But to me, it can also be one of your biggest challenges, or, you know, one of your lessons here to learn, because it's always there. So, and I already talked about, you know, the 21-45, you know, the feeling of powerlessness, you know, the feeling that I'm hopeless, you know, I cannot be a peaceful, you know, manifestor. And also the 51-25, that's another challenging one, because it's about shock. It's about shocking. So, you know, that energy is always there. So it means that even a small pressure in life, or, you know, small things, or, you know, small anger from other people can make my whole system shocked.
Who do you shock the most? Sorry for interruption. Who do you shock the most in your life?
Who do I shock the most? I guess, you know, just myself, and also, you know, those very close ones around me. So it's like, I get shocked first, you know, because that's my environment. And then if I respond to that shock, you know, with my gate of 25, right? And then I will shock others, you know, with that type of energy. So, so, you know, in a way, it's good, because I can be a really good initiator, and, you know, to shock people into their higher consciousness. But on the other hand, is that I will have a sense of, you know, 25 line 3, that's called innocence. So basically, I have to learn in this lifetime that innocence does not lead to happiness. It means that by you know, unconditional loving, by being innocent, it does not mean that you will be happy, and it can be a nightmare for me, right? You know, to learn the fact that, you know, you know what, I'm just being my innocent, you know, little child. Why, you know, the world is treating me like this? Hey, that's life. So, you know, that can be really challenging, and, you know, that can make me. So that is the reason why I'm having a lot of suicidal thoughts, because the 25 line 3 detriment says that you will have suicidal thoughts or you will perform crimes, you know, when you cannot stand the shock. Yeah, but, you know, that's in Pluto, which I heard that it's not even on at this age of time. So, you know, I'm good. You know, I won't be able to kill myself, but still, you know, that's a, yeah. So I can see the pattern there. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. You know, that's a really, really good question.
Yeah, I can imagine how it was hard for you for whole of your life to accept such part, that it is a part of your design, it is a part of your life, it is a part of your life path.
Yeah,
through which you are.
I really have to take I really have to stop taking personal about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, because not only human design can tell you who you are, ultimately it can tell you this is not even you, right? You just be accepted to your energy, and then, you know, to be your witness, you know, to be the witness, to be the whole presence being, to accept this so that you can let it flow. Otherwise, if you strongly identify, you know, with your energy, that is actually, you know, another way that you are being too much of yourself, and then, you know, that can create suffering too. So,
this is so nice closing words that you share with us. I'm so thankful for all of your energy, effort, and so so late in your country. I wish.
That's okay. I'm really hyped now. You know, I have so, you know, I have zero desire to sleep, and yeah, so, you know, I'm really willing, you know, to listen to, you know, to you guys sharing too, you know, as manifestors. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to go.
We don't have manifestors in our group.
Oh,
so we
okay.
are very thankful and
okay. I misunderstood it. I thought, you know, you guys are all manifestors apart from you. Oh, okay.
No. So, Ivančica, do you have one more question? Quick.
I'm interested if you are follow that suggestions about when to go to sleep, when to eat,
yes.
and something like this. Because to me, it's written to eat after when it's dark. Well, I cannot eat only when it's dark. I'm not a vampire.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I have a left arrow for my body, so I'm not good at fasting, which is true. But, you know, I will still stick to my own need for energy. So I eat pretty much 2.5 meals a day. And for sleep, yeah. So, you know, we are taught that we, as a open sacral, we should not sleep in hours of others, because we will, you know, take their energy, and then, you know, we'll really be tired after it. So, yeah, so, you know, for sleeping, I would suggest that with the open sacral, you just, you know, sleep by yourself. But for eating, for the light, indirect, from my, because my mother is the same, right? So from what I observe from her is that it's not about, you know, eating after the sun goes down. As long as you eat indoor, you know, without too much light, I guess, you know, that's a pretty good way. I don't know, but, you know, you have to really test on yourself. Yeah, and because for me, it's like, how can you eat, you know, when the sun goes down, you know, especially in Europe, right? You know, you have like summer, you know, you have like 20 hours of daytime. So, you know, that's going to make you really hungry.
Starving.
Perfect. Thank you so much, beautiful Jason.
No
have
problem.
A nice sleep.
No.
And take a rest, and see you in the classes next week.
Yeah. So you guys are finishing now, or, you know, you are like still going to do something else?
We have a classes right now. We are learning about generators and manifesting generators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right.